And where was the English throne in relationship to the thrones? What? Wales was another one. Where was the English throne? In other words, there were 5 thrones. England was the center throne. It was raised up the highest. And when it became the United Kingdom, they anointed a king, and his name was what?
James.
James the what?
James Stewart. Oh, James the First.
James the First. But before he became James the First, he was James the Sixth of Scotland, King of Scotland. When they brought all the kingdoms together, James was the King of England, which was now the uniting of the kingdoms to form the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Hey, I'm with you. Keep looking until you get it. Now, I know all of you are familiar with, and you young people better be paying attention to this. They said that the first king of this United Kingdom with England at the center was King James. He was, when he was the King of Scotland, prior to becoming the King of England, he was James the Sixth, King of Scotland. His last name is Stewart. His mother's name is
Mary.
Mary is the Queen of the Scots. Now, you youngsters back there were not paying attention. You better pay attention to this. I can guarantee you this is going to be on a test sooner or later. You best learn this, what we're talking about. All right? Now, this is going to get real strange. Now, England is not a nation. England and Great Britain, the United Kingdom, is a kingdom. And a number of kingdoms unite to form the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Now we'll say, well, I was always taught that a kingdom and a nation were the same thing. If you were taught that, then we were taught incorrectly. So now we need to find out what is a nation. We need to find out what it, as a matter of fact, I'm sorry.
No, I had a nation.
Come on, give it to us.
Now, Middle English.
Now, hold on. Do you youngsters realize what he's talking about? Oh, so right now, he's giving us information about a nation. What information is he giving us? The etymology. Good. Oh, you're going to go far, child. All of you are going to go far. We got to get you in the school on full scholarship. You get in the school on full scholarship, saves y'all a whole bunch of money. That's the way to go. When they're paying them to go to school, now we're rolling. Now we're making money. All right, so he's giving us the etymology. Let's go, Mr. Terry.
Nation. Noun, Middle English, Old French. Nation from Latin. Natio.
Okay, now here's what you're going to have to remember in the future. Whenever you get to Latin, do not pronounce the A as A. Pronounce the A as A. Natio. All right? What's going to happen is as you practice over a period of time, remember, only in English can the vowels take on multiple sounds. So in English, the vowel is subject to take on how many sounds, Ken? Zaire, how many sounds does the vowel A take on? 2, you say. Tell me the 2. Well, you know what? I'm so proud of you, but that's not right. That is on. Now, the reason I'm proud of you is because that is what I asked of you, to just learn A and I. And I'm so happy you're learning that. But in the way the English language has been put together, there's a particular idiosyncrasy in English where the letter A has some. Don't you remember being taught something about something? I don't want you to use personally. Please don't use it. You know. But they'll tell you that you got to know if you're going to learn basketball and and all these other words that they tell you is. But I don't want you to say anything. I want you to say art. Then when you come around the people that you're relative to, and you're in the neighborhood, now you can say once you leave out of the neighborhood, then you say like in all right? Well, you laughing. I'm gonna stand up and do that for me. Come on, stand up and do it. Let's go. Come on, get up. Now, let's go. I like that. I like that. I like that. And try motto, ma. Okay, matter. You see, the word matter or matter in English becomes matter, actually comes from the word mater, which is Latin. The word mater in Latin is the word mother. All right, by the time you get to Greek, it becomes meter. Now, meter, in the way we pronounce it in English, is meter. So you know the gas meter, and the parking meter, and all these different meters, they're the things that you measure with, because you should measure with the feminine. You should measure with the mother. The matrix is that thing that allows you to make the correct measurement. The matter, or the mother, that is Eve. But you have to understand that Eve is actually even. That's what Eve is. Now, Adam is actually odd. Now, when you look at the odd and you realize that you're starting at one is not. That's why the letter A, when you're looking at it in Greek, was not. If the letter A was the first, or alpha, was the first letter of the word, then that was not. So if I say anomy or anomy, what did I just say?
Not a friend.
Without what?
Not a friend.
What did she say? Without what? Tell them what you said, Ms. Bell. Without law. Now, what the word that we're saying is or a, and then we're saying nomi. Now, Ms. Kennedy, Ms. Zaire, do you have your pad? I need you to write this suffix down. This is a suffix. I need you to learn the suffix. The suffix is called nomi. Now, it comes from the word nomos. You got it? How do you spell nomi? Do it. Don't be second guessing yourself. Spell it. Nomi. Try it. What do you get? Try N-O-M-Y in this case. All right? Now, the Greek word is actually nomos. You got it? But by the time the Greek word creates in English the suffix nomi, we have N-O-M-Y. Now, nomos means law. Nomi means law. You got it? Are you getting this? Now, you have the suffix nomi down, right? All right, let's find the prefix. Let's find a prefix. Let's go with astro. Place astro in the position of a prefix. Now put your prefix together with your suffix, and what is your word?
Astronomy.
Good. Now you will never misspell that word in life. And not only that, you will always know what that word means. Astronomy is the law of the stars. You got it? All right, so give me another word, what you can bring together that deals with something in law. Give me another word.
Anatomy.
Anatomy, good, good. So what are we dealing with? The law of what? Good, good. And if they learn to spell like this, you'll never have to worry about not being able to spell the word. You'll never have to worry about not being able to read the word. Now I'm going to give you a word, and I need you to tell me within 20 seconds what the word is talking about. You got it? Taxonomy. I'm listening. Yeah, but what's tax? Because I'm almost positive you have no clue to what taxa means. You are assuming that taxonomy, when you say tax in taxonomy, is the same as what you think is income tax. But yet, your age, I doubt you know what income tax is yet. You're not going to know what income tax is until they start charging you. Then you will know. But I wanted you to do what Zaire is doing because I think she's done it. What did you find, Zaire? You're doubting yourself. You're not sure that you found it. Why not? What? Okay, but in the brackets, don't worry about the brackets right now. Look through your etymology and see if it tells you what it is. If it doesn't, go straight to a definition and just read a definition to me. I will tell you if it's out of context, and we'll keep going. Read.
Originally, to determine the value of a text.
Good. So now, does it give you an example of something dealing with taxonomy? Well, keep reading it because that definition is not going to allow you to comprehend what that's talking about. Now, in the future, when you read, you have to know when you do not understand something. When you do not understand something, we are going to learn to do element charts so that you can break that definition down to the point that you comprehend what it's talking about. You got it? All right, now. You know what we might do first? Let's learn a quick taxonomy rank. All right? Do you have a list of a taxonomy rank in that book? Aren't you looking at taxonomy? See if it tells you a taxonomy rank. Can someone help her with what a taxonomy rank is? Anyone, Ms. Bell, you can help them if you wish. I know you lay in to help them. A taxonomy rank. It's not an acronym, it's a mnemonic device. It's not an acronym. But they,
putting into a systematic way a classification for every living thing on the planet. So eventually, when you take science, you're going to run into animals, and first they are in PlayStation 2. So there are only two major things. Right? And then after.
Hold on. Chad, you looking at me? You're not. You're not looking at me? You're not understanding what it is that I'm talking about? You are good. All right, here's what I need you to do. I need you to help those young ladies over there next to you and those young men. Help everyone. You say what I say and tell everyone so they can hear you, so they can understand what you say. And you make sure they repeat after you repeat from what I say, okay? She said that we start out with kingdom, but I don't want you to think about kingdom. I want you to think about kids. Say kids.
Kids.
Did you say kids? You did? Are you shaking your head at me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. You shaking, you tell me that you shaking your head. No, you're not shaking your head. You're just saying yes, sir, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Kids prefer. You know how you prefer cheeseburgers over dinner? Don't you prefer to get a cheeseburger rather than dinner? You do prefer cheeseburger, right? Okay, so you know what preference is. And I'm telling you that kids prefer, this is a sentence that we're all learning. I expect you to know the sentence next week. You got it? All right. Kids, what's the next word, Chad? Miss Joanne back there trying to help you? Kids prefer, I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Say it again.
Yes, sir.
All right, yes, say it. Kids
Kids
prefer
prefer
cheese
cheese
over
over
fresh
fresh
green
green
spinach.
spinach.
You got it?
Yes, sir.
You know that sentence. All right. It appears that Zaire is getting ready to leave, right? Zaire, tell us the sentence before you go.
Kids prefer
They're all back there helping you, huh? They don't think see, I'm blind, so that means I can hear better. Come on, tell me now.
kids prefer cheese.
Help her. Not cheeseburger. Help her, Chad.
Kids prefer cheese over
Over fresh
fresh
green spinach. Right? Now go home and learn that, Zaire, so that by tomorrow you know it when you come, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Kennedy, what's the sentence?
Kids prefer cheese over fresh green spinach.
Good. All right. Cairo, what's the sentence?
Kids prefer cheese over fresh green spinach.
Chad?
Kids prefer
Prefer. Good.
cheese
Yes.
over
Yes.
fresh
Yes.
green
Yeah.
spinach.
Good. 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 I was going to ask Mr. White to help you, but you already got your help. All right. Kids prefer cheese over fresh green spinach. Everybody got that?
Yes, sir.
I didn't see you over there, girl. Tell me that sentence.
Kids prefer cheese over fresh green spinach.
All right, now remember, when you say kids, I want you to think of kingdom. Kingdom. All right? Got it? So remember, kids in your file, kids is going to provoke kingdom. You got it? Prefer starts with what letter? A P is phylum. Phylum. Now, the reason you said F is because the word phylum starts with PH. And anytime you hear the PH sound, it comes out F. You got it? Okay, phylum. Say phylum. Phylum. Good. Phylum. Kids prefer cheese. So, Miss Shirley, tell them what cheese is.
Actually, what is?
You don't remember? You don't remember, do you? Tell the truth. You don't remember. You know why you don't remember? Because the way we were taught, we weren't taught in such a way so that we were supposed to remember. All you were supposed to do when you get older is go get a job.
All right.
You weren't taught to know how to think. So now what we're doing is we're practicing and we're actually causing certain activity to happen in the brain having to do with the communication between the cells. In your brain there's this thing called the ganglia, and there's a nerve net, and the nerve net itself makes up the ganglia. Well, you have these things, these cells in there called dendrites and axons, and they talk to each other, but not in English. The language that they talk is much older than English, and you don't understand this language, but they actually communicate. You follow me? Now, the object is you have to exercise the brain so that the cells communicate. The way they communicate is via electrical impulse. So in other words, inside of your body, there are these electrical signals going off relative to the cells. And the cells are communicating with each other. You know, in other words, if you read certain articles, it will tell you, try not to eat like I eat. Eat food that is electrical, food that is made up of electricity. But you have to understand what electrical foods are. And we really got to get busy figuring the whole thing out about eating, because that's how they're going to learn how to think better than we did. We grew up on hot dogs and hamburgers and all the crazy stuff. They're going to learn how to think about food in a different way. The food that they put in the water, the things they put into their bodies is going to excite something that they're doing with their brains. The exercises that we are learning, it will excite the brain and cause it to do what it is that we need it to do. We like to just go in, lay down, turn the TV on, and let that do all the electrical impulse thing we do. But what we need to learn how to do is to actually think. Wait a minute. Kennedy, what's the sentence? Don't you look down. Try it again.
Kids prefer cheese over fresh green fish.
Good. And when you think of kids, what word are you thinking of?
Kingdom.
Not kingdoms, just kingdom. Okay? Prefer? Would prefer, that's right. Fight them. Good. I know somebody back there told me. Fight them. But it's okay. It's okay. I don't care. But now, I don't mind you cheating. But don't get caught. That's one thing. Then the other thing is, don't cheat yourself. All right? So that means we have to do certain things like you're doing in class every day, over and over and over, and practice until we get this. All right? All right, so kids prefer what, Chad? Good. So what is cheese? Cheese is Cairo trying to help you? Is Cairo trying to help you in? Come on, tell me. What? Well, how did you get there? How did you do it? You got it. Class. That's right. Kids refer to. So what's next? Over. What's next? Over. What's over? What's over? What's over? Is no. Over represents, it starts with the letter O. So the word in your taxonomy rank or chart is going to be order. Order. Over is order. So over fresh. What's fresh? First letter for fresh is what? So what's F? Family. Ms. Bell told y'all. She's helping you. Did you hear what she said, Chad? What she said? Listen to her. She's going to tell you again. Family. That's what fresh is. Family. Kids prefer cheese over fresh. Green. What is green, Kennedy? Genus. Genus. Now, you know how to spell genus? Okay. All you have to remember is that the first three words in the word general is gen. G-E-N. The last three letters in the word oxygen is gen. G-E-N. So when you're looking at the word gen, like in general, like in oxygen, you're seeing what you see in genus, which is gene. All right? That's actually the word that you're dealing with when you're talking about genus. You follow me? There are genes that make up your body. There are genes and cells and and these are the things that we must be prepared to learn. But you know, when we are taught these things, they teach you when you become a sophomore in high school. Now, here's the funny thing about that. They never prepared you when you were leaving the 7th, 8th, 9th grades to get ready to become a sophomore. You were supposed to be getting prepared every step of the way so that when you got there, you wouldn't be afraid. But when you got there, the biology, finally, as a sophomore, the geometry, finally, as a sophomore, you were shaking in your boots. You were afraid. They're going to be too hard for me. And even if you didn't say that, someone said that to you, it's going to be hard because it was hard for them. And we pass that down to our young people, and we say, well, it's going to be so hard when you get there. And so they go in thinking it's going to be hard. But if you start now, it won't be hard when you get there. You'll be prepared. All right? So we know that green is genus, right? Okay, deals with the genes in your body. And the word general and the word oxygen, it's really important to understand this. Oh, yeah. You know another word that starts with gen? Chad. I know you know this word. Can you spell genius for me? Good. Use the first letter. But don't you start spelling the word by starting to spell it. Say the word first. Genius. You don't know how to spell genius? Don't you worry. See, you're a genius, and we're going to learn everything about a genius. Are you a genius, Michelle? You know, you started to say yes, and then you wanted to check with Brother Ricky. you know. But you know what's weird? It is. Because we want to think we're geniuses, but no one ever helped us to understand what a genius is. Kennedy, what did they tell you a genius is? What did they always tell you a genius is?
A very intelligent person.
Guess what? Everybody. Don't you worry about it. Is Zaya gone? So she's a genius too. Cairo, what's a genius? What is a genius? Okay, you heard that, right? Don't you trust anything. Marvin Gaye said, trust half of what you hear and believe very little of what you see. Son, no. So you have to be careful. We're going to look it up for ourselves. And you know what I want you to look at also while you're looking up genius? The word genie. How do you spell it? Wow. We got genie, genius, gene, general. We got all these words with G-E-N. You know, I'm going to think that genius and genie must have something to do one with the other. What does it say a genius is? Who's going to tell me? You got it already. I'm waiting.
It says Latin,
Okay.
guardian, deity.
No, dear. It's talking about you. It's not calling you a deity. It's calling you a deity. You understand? That's what it's calling you. A guardian deity. Oh, better than that, see what it's really saying, even though I'm not looking in the book, I'll bet you what it's saying to you. It's saying tutelary spirit. Does anyone see that? It's there. Now, how come I can see in your dictionary as quickly than you can and I can't see? Isn't that something? It says tutelary spirit. And you know what? Everybody's always telling you to hire a tutor for your child. I am telling you, don't you dare do that. You don't want to hire any tutors for your children. Because if you hire a tutor for your child, what you're telling your child is that they can't think. But understand something. The tutelary spirit that you want to come up out of your child, it's in there. It is in there. Now, matter of fact, you see the body that your child is in is like that lamp that Aladdin was rubbing. Follow me? And Aladdin was rubbing his lamp, right? And he rubbed it how many times?
3.
Rubbed it 3 times. And from out of the lamp came what? A genie. That's right. Now, and what did the genie do for Aladdin? He gave Aladdin 3 wishes. Is that right? Now, Aladdin better be smart enough to know what to wish for. But before we worry about what to wish for, let's figure this out. What is a wish? I think the best way that you can figure it out is to look up the word wish and see if there might be a synonym. What is a synonym?
I think it means almost the same.
Not necessarily almost the same. Usually, it is going to have, or it's going to be a cognate that might have a reference that is the same. You got it? All right, now, give me 2 more words that come into English from other languages that mean the same thing as wish. Want is another word, and desire is another word. Now, the word desire comes into English from what language? What? Not desire. Desire is from French. How do you say the word desire in French? Desiree. Desiree. Follow me? Now, once you understand that Desiree is really desire. Desire, when you look these things up, they will be there, they will tell you what they are when you look them up. Desire should eventually come down to being an energy. You got it? Desire will be an energy. Now let me tell you something about the energy of desire, of desire. You don't control that particular energy, it will control you. And you better be real careful about that energy. But now, if you really understand what to do with it, and you really, really want something for real, I mean, you truly, truly for real want it, then guess what? You are actually allowing yourself to come upon a wish. You see, if you really, really want it, the genie inside of you will grant you your wishes. Because the genie that is inside of you is a genius. How do I know that? Look up the word genius. Tell me what it says.
So you like the etymology of it?
Fine.
The etymology of it says it's in Latin, guardian,
Deity. You mean to tell me it says the same thing there that it says when you looked up the other word? What was the other word that you looked up? It was genie. So now you're looking up genie and you're seeing the same thing. You know why you're seeing the same thing when you look up genie that you see when you look up genius? It is the same thing. And you see the genie that is actually inside the lamp, and your body is the lamp, is the genius that is inside of you. It is the tutelary spirit that is already there. So what we need, we don't need other people tutoring our children. We need our children learning how to teach themselves. And then they become their best tutors. They become their best guardians. You see, the spirit that is inside of them actually can do all things because it came here to do all things. It was sent here by something that can do all things. That's what it is. Now, wait a minute. This has not only been in your dictionaries all the time, but for those of you who practice using the book that they call the Bible, it's there. For those of you who practice utilizing the book that they call the Quran, it's there. It's in the Torah. It's in every book that you could possibly read. But you know, the average person that would argue with me about it not being there, you know, those are the people that have never read any of the books. They've listened to people tell them what's in the books, but they've never read them for themselves. And then you have the people that have actually called words based on, they're looking at the words that are there, but they're not decoding, they're not deciphering. I've been noticing lately that you've actually been going in learning to decode and decipher. You're seeing things now that you couldn't see before, right? Do you feel any kind of power when that's going on inside of you?
Well, to be able over time to have a truer sense of a word than what is told to me is that self-knowledge is immensely valuable when listening to someone else.
So it feels good.
It does.
Well, I'm telling you that if you notice how the genie would always seem to feel when it would get out of the lamp and it was dealing with Aladdin, that's what you're looking at. That thing that is inside of you that has that kind of power. And that's why it's so important that we do what we are doing. Did we finish, Kendra, did we finish the taxonomy right? How far did we get? Why are you looking down? We did? We got the genus and not spinach. So what is spinach?
Species.
Species. Good. Species. Now, I will guarantee you that if you bother to learn this now, you will not be frightened when you walk into biology class as a sophomore. You will already be prepared. And all of the older people who say that they weren't frightened when they got to biology, they're lying. They were frightened. When they first started taking algebra or biology or geometry or any of these classes, until after the first few weeks, if their mamas made them do the study and practice, and they might have caught on, most of them, they were afraid because they were not prepared. They didn't know what they were facing. And the only thing they had in their brains, it's going to be hard. It's going to be so hard. I can't do this. Never go into anything thinking about what you can't do. You can't do this. Now, who is that sitting next to you, Ken, right over there on the side? Taylor. Miss Taylor, give me the taxonomy sentence, the rank, the device to know what they are. Give me the sentence first. Am I smiling good enough? Can you see it? Can you see my smile? That he's yes, man. That's right, you got it. All right. So wait a minute, what's spinach, by the way? What's spinach? Good. What's green? Do I hear anybody? No, not genius. Kind of genus. Good, that's close enough. Genus, that's good enough. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, wait a minute. Look, I'll tell you what I want you to do for me. Tell me the atomic number of oxygen. Taylor? Do you know the atomic number of oxygen? Do you know how to find it? Do you know how to find it down? You want me to help you? Taylor, you want me to help you? Okay. In your dictionary, do you have a periodic table in the dictionary? Is there a periodic table in the dictionary? I find the periodic table, which will give you an element chart. On that element chart, you should have the atomic number and also, what did I ask you for about oxygen? What did I ask you for? I asked you for the atomic number. Okay, give me the atomic number. You can't find the. I know it's in some of your dictionaries. I know it's in one of your dictionaries. You should have a periodic table, or it may be under elements.
Yeah, I see.
Who got a table? You got elements? What do you got? the chart or the elements? Which is it? You got a table?
But what's the atomic oxygen?
Don't you have a element chart up on the wall somewhere? We gotta get one. If we don't, we'll get one. We'll get one. Okay. And it should be, you should have a table and a chart and a dictionary. You got one? Okay, good. Who knows how to operate with this? All right, no problem. But we're gonna have to learn this. We have to learn this whole chart. We have to learn, and I think the first one should be hydrogen, shouldn't it?
Yep.
All right, and you have an atomic number, and we're gonna learn them in an order, in 2 or 3 different orders, and that way I don't know that you know them on one side and down the other. In just a second, we're gonna get started with learning the anatomy, physiology of your body. We're gonna learn the chart. So now I asked you to start learning the states, right? You already know the presidents. You notice I didn't say my presidents, right? You know, I listen to people out there and down. I'm learning my presidents. Ain't mine. No, Cilfford Blacl is mine. What?
I found the number for oxygen.
What? Tell it to me.
8.
Okay, so where is it showing you the number? Where is it located in the symbol? Is it in the right-hand corner? Is it in the middle? Where is it? How do you know it's the atomic number? Give me the symbol for salt. Good. And now what happens is it'll come together with something else on here for table salt. What will it be? Na oxide?
NaOH.
Or would it be NaCl?
Yeah.
Sodium chloride. Now, in other words, before it's over with, if you notice this chart is in different colors. You're going to learn all the colors. You're going to learn which one is a solid. You're going to learn which one is gas, which one is liquid. You're going to learn everything about every single element. Now, on the site, I don't know who's going to the site, but I'm going to tell you again, you need to start going to the site. On the site, there's a post dealing with classical elements. Did you see it, Mr. White? Has anyone seen it? What are the classical elements?
Earth, fire,
What?
Fire, air, earth, water.
That's right. And that is known as what? The Fantastic Four. Now, again, I'm asking you all, how is it that the writers who wrote the comic book, The Fantastic Four, how did they know this and you didn't? Understand what I'm asking you. How is it that I know what the story of Aladdin and the lamp is actually talking about, and you don't? Because if you don't know the stories, you cannot teach them to your children. If you cannot teach to your children, you cannot help your children learn how to teach themselves. If your children cannot teach themselves, they will be shut down like dogs. I can guarantee you. You know how I know this? It has been going on all of my life. And you say, is happening now. Isn't that something? So what we want to do is we want to actually give them the power to actually control the thoughts that are going on in other bodies. Come on, ask me how, since you're curious, ask me. How? Okay. You ever had an uncle or grandfather or somebody that tried to teach you to play poker? You ever had anybody try to teach you to play poker? They tried to teach you to play poker? What else? Huh?
Not poker, dominoes.
Dominoes. Good. Chess. What else?
Tom,
Check. Even checkers. Even that. What else?
Tom,
They tried to teach you to play tonk. Well, now the thing is you always got somebody around the table talking about the game. Somebody around the table talking about it. Usually the one that's doing all the talking, that's the one that really doesn't win that much. The one that's doing a lot of talking. Usually the one that kind of keeps quiet, them the ones thinking the game. Now, if you can really think the game, a lot of times you can make a move that will cause your opponent to do something you want your opponent to do. So you play a particular card, you push a particular strategy, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to make them react to something you're doing. You're causing something to happen. Now, a lot of times when you cause accidents, oh, y'all don't cause accidents. They just happen though. But your grandmama used to always tell you, accidents are caused. They don't just happen. And how are they caused? They're caused by the way that you think. You control your thoughts. 9 times out of 10, you control the energy and the activity that's going on around you. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a while to learn to actually do this, especially since in most cases, we're not actually taught from little children how to behave in a way so that we are in control of the energy around us, our behavior, our thoughts. But the more you start focusing and becoming aware of your thoughts, the more you can control the energy around you.
I think through confidence, you've already kind of done it.
You said confidence?
Yep.
So how do you get confidence?
Through knowledge.
You can get confidence. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Did you hear what he said, Mr. Ricky? Okay. Well, we need to actually make sure you hear that. I think he said that you might acquire confidence. If you can acquire confidence, and if you acquire real confidence, not trick yourself into thinking that you can do something that you really can't do. That's delusion. That's delusion. And some people who delude themselves into being overconfident, well, they're going to get knocked down every time. When they get the ball, they run through the line, they're going to get knocked down, jumped on, beat up. You know, and there's no getting around this. But the one that actually practices so that it becomes faster, the one that practices so they throw the ball in just the right moment when it gets away, the one that can actually move in just the right way, that always seems to get away, that's the one that scores the touchdown. That's the one that has the confidence that you're talking about. But now again, how do we truly develop that confidence? Now I am suggesting to all those young people back there who are not really paying attention, I'm suggesting to practice. Did you read Jonathan? Did you read Jonathan? You didn't. All right, who read Jonathan? One person. James, why are you looking over there? Did you read Jonathan? Why not? Carol, did you read Jonathan? No. Okay, well, I guess you got too much schoolwork so far to do. But at some point, you need to find some time and start reading Jonathan. And you say you read it. Give us all some type of insight.
Oh, Jonathan Livingston Seagull.
Yeah, Jonathan Livingston Seagull.
Jonathan was
You
basically.
have to speak loud enough for everyone to hear you.
Jonathan was basically outcast
Outcast from what?
from his, I don't know, the flock.
The flock.
From the flock. Good. Could have been his family, and they were part of the flock. It could have been all the people that were a part of his neighborhood, his group, his teachers and preachers and all of this. And they just believed that everything should be the way that it's always been, right? Okay, go ahead.
Jonathan was different from the rest of his flock.
How?
He flew low.
Flew low, what's it gonna do with anything?
Basically, Jonathan, he flew not so.
But what, y'all know anything about flying?
Seagulls typically fly high or they fly to catch food.
Okay, good. So ordinarily, the seagull would fly to catch food, you say,
Survival.
but just for survival. That's why they would fly. Okay, go ahead.
Jonathan flew or he flies to understand flying itself.
So he wanted to learn how to fly for a different reason. Did he know the reason that he was doing this?
He didn't. He did not.
He did not know.
The only thing he knew that he wanted to fly.
So, Miss Kennedy, tell me what flying could be a metaphor for. First of all, let me apologize. I didn't check to see if you know what a metaphor is. Do you know what a metaphor is?
I know what it is.
You do? Well, good. Tell me what it is then.
Well, a metaphor is
Mm.
it's sort of like when you say something and it means the same, but it's not the same.
I hear what you're saying. So you haven't really practiced saying what a metaphor is, but you know what it is, right? So right now you just need to go over and over and over and practice it until you actually know exactly what it is that you're talking about, right? I think you have an idea. So good. So what is flying a metaphor for? I like what you're doing. You're looking metaphor about you. Anybody back there looking it up at the same time while you're doing it? I would think they need to be doing that. Because see, they're thinking I'm not talking to them, so they don't have to look it up. Do you know how to spell metaphor? Spell it for me.
M-E-T, metaphor. M-E-T-A-P-H-O-R.
Good. You got by on that one. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Metaphor. Go ahead, I'm listening. You don't stop doing what you're doing. And read it. You found it already?
Yes, sir.
Have you been practicing? Have you been practicing finding words in the dictionary?
Yes, sir.
You have. So how fast are you now?
I wouldn't say that I'm
If
very.
you have been timing yourself,
Yes, sir.
you need to get a time clock and start practicing timing yourself. Get a second, get a watch, second hand on the clock up there. Think Time yourself. All right? So what is a metaphor?
Would you like the definition or etymology?
I don't care.
Okay. The etymology of it is French metaphor, then Latin metaphora, in Greek metaphora, then it says to carry over.
Go keep going, definition.
The definition is a figure of speech in which one thing is likened to another different thing by being spoken of as if it were that other. Implied comparison in which a word or phrase ordinarily and primarily used of one thing is applied to another.
Now, tell me what you just said in other words. Say it like you said. Now, tell everybody in the room what you just said and do it in other words.
Like an example?
Like an example. Try that.
Okay. His room was as smelly as a garbage can.
All right, so the metaphor of the garbage can, the smell of garbage can, will tell us how his room.
That would be
Huh?
that would be a simile since you used the word
So now, what did you say? That would be a what?
simile.
Now, did you hear what he said? Okay, so now what we have to learn is the difference between the metaphor and the, say it again,
Simile.
the simile. Oh, I'm thinking there's another one that we should have learned when we were going to school and being dragged off to churches called allegory. And then all of them are just a little different one from the other. So I want you to learn what a simile is, the metaphor, and the allegory, okay? All right? Now, again, I'm saying, what is Jonathan's flying? What would that be? What could we use? What could we say that's a metaphor for? What would flying, if I said, girl, you flying, y'all flying back there, what would I actually be suggesting that you possibly do? Good. So what would I actually be suggesting that you're doing if you are learning? Yes, I really like that. Now, that's really important for you to understand. Have you ever looked up thinking? You ever looked up thinking? Why not? Tell the truth.
Things to look up to.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something? And that's the truth. But understand something. We dragged off to school and we go to school and no one ever suggested we should ever look up the word think. All right? So now, Kennedy, you should be down to 20 seconds, so you should already have think in front of you, right?
I do.
Oh, you do? Good. We're rolling, child. Read some. Wait a minute. Hold on. No. Cairo, read think to me. Read the word think. Read about the word think.
Middle English. Thinking.
Good.
Old French. Old
Old E is Old English.
English.
Wait, stop. In some dictionaries, Old English, OE, will be the same as AS. AS is Anglo-Saxon. Now, the period of time that is recognized as Old English, speaking Old English, they were also speaking what is called Anglo-Saxon. You got it? Now, this is going to be important for you later because you're going to need to know the periods when they were speaking Middle English, Old English. Right now, what do you speak? What language do you speak? What is it?
American.
No,
American.
you speak American English. Now, American English actually comes into existence after modern English. Modern English comes into existence, and then shortly after modern English comes into existence, American English comes into existence. Who is the person that brings American English into existence? James, what is his name? And understand something, just like you're learning about the history of people of color, it's going to be very important that you know about the history of the country that we were born in. The language that you speak is what language, James? American English. Who is the person that is given credit for being the father of American English? What's his first name? Miriam is his granddaughter or great-granddaughter. I'm not really sure. Is he his granddaughter or his great-granddaughter? You have to find out. What's his name?
Noah.
His name was Noah. What year was he born?
I don't remember.
What year did he expire?
I don't remember.
Now, that's what you must do. You must teach yourself in such a way where you know this information. Now, understand, anytime you come across people who would suggest to you that it's not important to know that information, that's a nigga that don't want to know. Catch my drift? Anybody that does not want to know, you be careful of those people. You hurry up and get away from them. Matter of fact, I thought you were going to start wearing watches. Why are you going to start wearing watches? So, good. Because you don't want to make yourself, you don't want to make it known that you don't want to be bothered with an idiot. Because they'll get mad at you. Idiots are quick to get angry. You got it? All right. Huh? Oh, without a doubt, that's what's wrong with that idiot. Without a doubt. But anyway, Noah Webster, what year was he born? Wait a minute, I knew I asked that question a minute ago. What year was he born? What year did he expire? He created American English, and American English, or the dictionary, is known as the what? The what? Good. So he was in fact a lexicographer. It is important to understand that. Why is it that we go through school and we come out of school with PhDs and we know absolutely nothing about lexicon, lexicography? We know absolutely nothing about lex. So what's going on? Something's not right. Hopefully, we can start teaching ourselves in such a way so that the genie comes up out of you and grants you your wishes. Matter of fact, Kennedy, what's your first wish going to be?
My first would be to graduate college.
Taylor, what's your first wish going to be? Yo, no. She already made the first. What's the second wish going to be? The what? All right. And Cairo, what's the third wish going to be?
Learning how to build stuff.
Well, from now on, I want you all to understand that you got to stop wasting wishes. Because if you waste all your wishes, and wishes will get away from you in a hurry. You'll be doing something one day and things won't go right for you. Next thing you don't know what happened. It's all over with. So what you just have done is you just wasted your wishes. Try again, Kennedy.
Oh, no, not for.
Now we're wasting another week. What?
I will wait for a minute.
I like that. I like that. But wait a minute. Don't make it appear that you're greedy. So yes, that's all you do. Just 1, 2, 3 more wishes. Don't make it appear that you're greedy. Yeah, you know, that's how yeah, somebody think you want too much. But I like the fact that you think it. I like the fact that you think it. Yeah, good. And you said something about thinking, right? I mean, you know what? Now you're supposed to be able to tell us who was the God of thinking in ancient Egypt. Thought. Tell us about it.
He's the God of language, thinking. He was the one who would record events. After he passed away, he'd be the one who wrote it down. You always see him holding the.
Is everyone following what he's saying?
Yes, sir.
All right, now keep up with me. Asclepius, Hermes, and when they say that it is a hermetic seal, they're actually talking about thought. And thought is the root of the word thought. You follow me? And now, once we have the root of the word thought and we know where it's coming from, we're dealing with a process that will allow us to think. And only when you are thinking, you are being reasonable, or you are reasoning. That's the only way you can be man. Anyone here ever looked up man? Has anyone looked up the word man? Wait a minute, why not? Didn't we just talk about species? What species are you? What species are you? Now understand something. I'm not necessarily accepting what people are just making up telling me. I'm not going for it. You know how y'all all the time, I'm a human being. Don't you do that? Don't you be quick to do that, say I'm a human being? Well, please don't say it to me. Because I'm going to tell you one of the last things on this planet that I get along with is human beings. You know why? Well, they like messing up rivers.
Oh, yeah.
They like chopping off the top of mountains and digging all the coal out. They like digging up holes in the earth and actually taking the earth's blood out of it. They call it things like oil. Now I think they call it petroleum. So they take and they murder people. They destroy languages. That's what human beings do. What I'm hoping that those young people back there, I'm hoping that they are getting ready to learn how to be more than human beings. They were sent to this planet to be more than human beings. Whatever you say, send them here, that's what they were sent to be. They were not sent here to be human beings. Human beings have been destroying every part of this planet. Right now, they're involved in creating wars everywhere, including your neighborhoods. And the war that they're creating in your neighborhood has to do with the complexion of your skin. Now, to me, that's a low evil thing. Those are human beings. And why would someone try to convince me that I'm one of those? If, in fact, I am actually becoming what I was sent here to be, I'm really not trying to be that. Now, at the same time, everyone who says that they're human beings, what are you saying when you say the word human? What are you saying out of your mouth? What is it? What is it?
Human.
You say human. What is human?
Human color.
Well, kind of. It's dealing with dirt. It's dealing with the color of the soil, the humus. Right. That's where the word actually originates based on what they did with the word. And because they were going with some nonsense they had made up about your body was made from the earth, from the dirt. All right? So then they placed the word hue having to do with the humus, which is going to now come out to be a complexion, and then having to do with man. And what is the word man? The word man is mind. Now everyone here has bothered to go through the exercise looking the word up, right? Where does it lead you? Tell me where it leads you. What does man lead you to? Man leads you to what? What? It will get you to man. It will get you to man. And then I think eventually, if you do it right, you should get to Egypt with Menez. And you should actually come to how they created the concept of what they would call men, which would be the root of the word, what did you say? Mental. So they say that you are a sentient, sapient being. Is that right? So you are filled with this thing called reason. That's what a sentient being is, one who thinks with reason. How do I know that it is called reason? I think in your book, the Latin traces to ratio, and ratio is the root of the word rational. And so you are supposed to be a rational thinking being, and that's what man is. Man is a mental being. So this thing that y'all all call spirit, why do you call it spirit? Why do you call it spirit? You said that's why you call it spirit, because it comes from the Latin spirit. You call it spirit because you're just repeating what someone else said. All right, so, and I'm sure that's what most of us did. You were just repeating these words that someone else said. So we don't really know what the word spirit deals with, right? Breath, good. But did we look up the word genius and genie? What did it say that a genius or a genie is? A spirit, a guardian, tutelary spirit. So now we have to figure out what the spirit is. And you see, I cannot see what you're thinking. So there's your spooky, there's your ghost that you're thinking about, as far as if you wanted to be the ghost.
Got you.
They're your thoughts. And your thoughts are in the image of the thing that created it all. With a thought, they said, a thought is the cause of it all. And that's what you're in the image of. You have the power to think. That's important. Now, if we can get our young people to learn to practice in such a way, whereas they can coordinate all of these pictures on this wall, and they know that down here, where's it down here? I think somewhere down here, what is that? Tierra del Fuego.
Right.
That's right. And all of this in here is the original, what is called Americas. This is the original Americas. The original Americas was a line.
Right.
It was created by a Catholic monk. And it came out of what you would call the Vatican, this line. And it's called the line of Torrijos. But now understand something. At some point, all of our children have to know how to see this without looking at this wall. Somewhere on here is the equator. Come here, James, show me the equator. Now understand something, this is flat, so it's going to get tricky on a flat surface. Now understand, what we really want to learn is on a globe.
Yeah, globe right
Right behind, right there.
Right behind.
So go over there and point to where the equator is on the globe. That's the equator. So the word equator, what does it mean? Equal, good. Now there are going to be two lines from the equator. These two lines, one of them is going to be the line of Capricorn,
Cancer.
and the other is going to be the line of Cancer. Where are the lines? What is in between those lines? What is in the space between those lines? Where do those lines go? I think they go all the way around this planet. So they come across here, dealing with this equator, right? What do you find relative to between those lines all the way around the planet? Well, good, but that's part of what you can find. When you say the tropics, you're talking about a climate. Yeah, but see, what I want to find is all those tombs, all those buildings that you say exist all the way around the planet. Isn't that something? See, somebody told us they only exist in Africa, in ancient Egypt. They only exist in Africa, in Zimbabwe. They only, wow, but they exist all the way around the planet. Isn't that strange? And guess what? When you really pay attention and examine everything that is in all of those buildings, in all of those designs, the edifice, pay attention, they're all saying something. Well, what could they possibly be saying? They're different languages, but they're all saying something. What are they saying? I wonder if they're saying the same thing. And I wonder if the people that actually are telling us what they're saying don't know what they're saying. I wonder if a lot of us are believing that you now know what they're saying because you believe what the first Egyptologists said they were saying. Where did the first Egyptologists that broke the hieroglyphics tell you what they say? Where did you learn how to do that? How did you learn how to do that? Matter of fact, my question is did he make it up? Did he just, I'll tell you how I figured out they were just making stuff up. You ever looked in your dictionary and looked up the word Ethiopia?
I've not.
You never looked it up? Well, what do they always tell you that it means? Land of the burnt face? That's strange to me. You know, because when I first started actually trying to do what people were asking me to do, and I was no older than a lot of them, I started doing this work, but very few people would do it. And I started teaching, but when I came out from understanding what etymology is, I had a whole different insight than what the books were telling us that it is. You ever looked up Ethiopia to see if what it's saying is the land of burnt face? Where did they make that up from? How did they make it up? But yet everybody's always told me that's what it means. But how did they know? Why are you laughing? I like that you laughing. Oh, you still standing with me? Good. I like that. Good. Tell me.
A lot of good people call you on the radio and say, and argue say that means the land of the burnt face.
And what do I tell them?
They're incorrect.
I tell them I don't think so.
They say something about mystery schools.
And all kinds of mystery schools. Anybody ever heard anything? I'm sorry, go ahead.
This guy, Sir Walsberg.
Sir E. Wallace. Yeah. What did he do?
Did we write the book? The book of the dead.
The Book of the Dead.
The so-called translation.
The Book of the Dead. That's exactly right. He put it together.
Could they get mixed up with ethos?
Could. But understand something. If you do that now, if you start going there, what you're going to realize is that people have been making things up for a while. They made up all this information about race. Now, you know y'all believe everything they said, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Because you actually thought that what they told you about race, that's what it is. We Caucasian white people, right? Right? That's what they told us.
Yeah.
But that's nonsense. So we know they just made it up. Now, why is it when I try to impress people with if they look, they'll find out that they just made this up? Why do people get mad about it?
Well, you destroying everybody's whole thought process.
I'm destroying.
Well, not you. You telling me that that everything that I've learned is someone made up and made.
Okay, well, you looking at the word Ethiopia?
Yes.
Okay, what does it tell you about the word? What do you see?
It says ancient, Ethiopia, ancient, and it's spelled with an A.
Well, here's what's going to be weird about older words like Egypt and Ethiopia, especially when they evolved from the Greek. They're usually going to have an A before the E. The vowel is going to be connected, and Egypt is going to be AE relative to how we set the alphabet up now. All right? You about to leave me?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, well, I'm going to see you next time. Out again.
Yes, sir, next week.
All right, for sure. Make sure she keeps practicing, right?
Yes, sir.
So now, but hold on, before you go, just listen to one thing. The word is what now?
Ethiopia.
Okay.
First appears as a geographical term in classical documents in reference to the Upper Nile region, as well as all certain areas south of the Sahara Desert and south of the Atlantic.
That's what they would call it, right?
Ocean.
So that, is that what's in your dictionary? Is that what's there?
I don't have that much detail.
Okay. But now, where did people get land of burnt face? You said Sir E. Wallace Boys, right? And Negroes actually think that that's really saying that that's what it is, right? Now, this funny thing, look up one word. Is it one word or look down one word from Ethiopia? Just 1 second. I ain't gonna hold you up for a minute. It's either one word up or one word down. What do you see?
Yeah, Ethiopia.
Or Ethiopia. Okay, but do you see anything about ethical?
Ethics.
Oh, you see ethics. Now, you guess what? The beginning of the word ethics, as far as the root of the word ethics, is the same root that you're looking at for Ethiopia. Ethiopia is a Greek word. So if you trace the word ethics, I think you'll come across the word honor. Now, you don't see anything about the face in the word.
Right.
But what you do see in the word is I. OP is I, isn't it?
Right.
Okay, so that means what you, and I think at the end of the word is IA. So IA is dealing with land. So guess what you're saying? Land where you see honor.
Wow.
That's what you're saying. Not anything about anybody's burnt face. So white folks made it up to make y'all feel stupid. And y'all been feeling stupid all this time. Based on your complexion. It's not anything about land with a burnt face. And you're supposed to have a burnt face. Ain't that nothing? If you really look at the word and break the word, your children learn how to break that word for themselves. It says land where you see honor. Now, let them go read Herodotus, or Herodotus, whatever you want to call it. And he's supposed to be the father of what? History. But he says, and our gods go to Ethiopia to dine with the gods.
Huh.
Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
I know y'all got to go, and I've been doing this all night. Y'all be all night.
Next
Go on.
week.
I'll see y'all next week. And understand, I'm not trying to get you to believe anything. I'm trying to get you to look for yourselves at something that no one has bothered to show you how to do for yourselves. It's so simple to do, you know, if you are learning to do it for yourself. As a matter of fact, there I'll go. Taylor, how many letters in the Roman numerals dealing with the numbers? How many? You don't know. Cairo, how many letters? How many letters? 7. What are the 7?
I, B, X.
I what?
I,
I,
B,
V,
X,
X.
L, C, M. The L. That's L. C,
7, there's a D. All right, so 7. You got it? Now I think before we leave today, what we were supposed to do today was to figure out what the line above the letter represents. So in other words, if there's a line above the letter M, what does that represent relative to the number? If there's a line above the D or above
I think
any,
you had 1,000.
you did what?
You had 1,000 when there's a line.
You said you got 1,000 when there's a line. If I'm not mistaken, the M is 1,000. If I'm not mistaken. But now, we have bothered to go in and look at the thread, right? On the site. Have you been in on the site? We should go in and look at the thread, yes.
He said the line, you multiply the line, multiply by 1,000.
You multiply it by 1,000.
Okay.
Okay, so now make sure, do not take anyone's word for anything. We're going to look for ourselves, right, Taylor? Right? We're going to look for ourselves. You look for yourself. Because now, how do you read that number on your dollar bill? What's the number on your dollar bill in Roman numerals? What's the number on your dollar bills? You said it's an I? You sure? You don't know what the number is on your dollar bills? You said it's a 1. What's the number, Terry? Is that $1 you got?
Yes, sir.
That's a $1 bill.
Now, which numbers are you referring to?
All right, look at the bottom of the pyramid.
M, D, C, C, L, X.
M, D,
M, D,
C, C,
L, V, no, L, X, X, V, I.
XXVI. That's got to be 26 there. And I think that just added to a 50, so that made that 76. The first number you said was M, so that would have to be 1,000.
M, D, C, C.
So 1776, that's the number that's on your dollar bill. Funny thing about it is that dollar bill was not invented in 1776. What is that there for? What is it talking about? What does it have to do with anything? You know, why is it there? Isn't that something? The whole symbol, why is the symbol on your dollar bill? That is your dollar, isn't it? Isn't it? But you don't know anything about any of the symbols on the bill. That's weird. DeMarcus, something we were talking about, you were supposed to, we gotta get in a few minutes, so you might as well talk to me before we go. What was you supposed to be coming up with?
Oh, we're talking about dealing with what we dealing with tonight.
Yeah, deal with that. Yeah.
We was actually talking about vows.
What about it?
We dealing with op.
Oh, good. Yeah. Everyone familiar with what he's talking about, what he's saying? Tell him what you said. Tell him what you're talking about.
We was just dealing with vows and the way you connect certain vows.
No. What he's dealing with is Buffy is teaching Taj in the school about how to say certain sounds. Isn't that what's going on?
That's right.
All right, come on, tell him.
And so Taj tells me, when you put the O in front of the C, it still comes out some kind of way as op. You know, I told him, I was saying, I don't think that's correct. So we got the board out and on the vowel charts again, we connecting with the O. But when we put the O in the middle of the track, went from the C to the O to the T, then we switched it around, went from the O C to the T, then give you up.
Was he able to accomplish it?
Yeah, he was able to accomplish
Now, how is that?
it.
Now, I am suggesting that we would do that with all of our youngsters, who are 5, 6, 7 years old. We would get out in front of this by such a leap. It would be unbelievable. But now, y'all don't have to do this if you don't want to. Just let them get shot down. And see, we got youngsters who thinking they ain't gonna get shot because why wouldn't they get what? Chris, tell me why would you get shot?
What?
Why would you not get shot? Police can't shoot you, right? Huh? I hear you. They can shoot you. Why do you think they would shoot you? Why do you think they would not shoot you? I'm saying that they will. Why would they? You have any idea why the police would shoot you down? No, you don't say the wrong thing. Just say whatever. What do you think? Because you're black? You mean because your complexion is a darker hue? Okay. Well, that's a good reason. Don't you think that's a good reason for them to shoot you down? Huh?
It's not reality, but I mean.
It's not in reality, but you mean what?
Right now.
Why right now? Why right now? People are getting shot left and right? So they're making it a good reason. Matter of fact, I think they just said the guy at the truck, they said that they think they found some PCP in his truck. So even if they did, why did you kill him? Before you found some PCP? Does that justify killing him? So now I'm suggesting that these youngsters are going to learn to think in such a way to where they can get into the policeman's brain and they can control their thoughts. The same way you control someone's thinking at a chess game or in a poker tournament. The same way you can control the way they think, what they do. The same way you can see into their thoughts. That's the same way you can do with the police, if you can think. But where do we need to start? Where are you starting, Marcus? Well, when was the beginning? Where? No, with your son, with Taj. Where did you start? You started in the womb. Okay, where did it start with you? You were all the way out of college when you got started, and now you're actually dealing with in the womb with the little ones that you had coming. All right, so do you think there might be a better way to do this? If we start when they're actually in the womb? Is that a better way rather than waiting until they get out of college to get started?
Absolutely.
It's better that we start with them when they're very young.
Absolutely.
So now, wouldn't it be wise that we started learning the things that we did not learn as young people so that we can teach them while they are young people? So as they get older, they will know how to think through this thing. Anyway, we're about to have to get out. Any questions before we go? Yes, David.
Just a small thing earlier you were naming gods.
Which guys was I naming? I'm sorry.
From Thoth.
I mean Hermes.
Right. This.
Hermes.
Yeah.
And Trismus Gestis. Because Thoth becomes Trismus Gestis, which is 3 times greatest. All right. And so now when you go from this group, that culture, to this group, this culture, to this group, that same God evolves into those groups.
Of Hermes.
is golf. He's the teacher,
Hermes.
like Hermetic, like the monk. Huh?
Okay, I thought I always thought that Hermes
Greek.
was the same as Mercury.
No,
Or is
no,
that
no,
different?
no.
Okay, yeah.
Mercury would be equivalent to a Roman angel or a Roman god, which would be equivalent to an angel in Catholicism.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right? But now Mercury represents the Trinity, along with Trinity. All right? So when you're looking at Mercury, you're usually looking at three things. All right? Now, what is the most needed Trinity to learn? Which Trinity is the most absolute imperative that you must learn?
Etymology, rhetoric,
That's a good Trinity. Etymology, rhetoric, and what? Good, but where did you find it?
well, we've talked about it in the class before, but it was reinforced with some information.
Okay, good. But no, that's not what I'm getting at. That is just one of the ways that the Trinity was placed into subject matter when they were creating curricula or academia. The main Trinities that you must really understand relative to you is carbon, what? Hydrogen. Carolyn? That's it. Carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen. That's your Trinity. Now, when you're dealing with carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, you're dealing with the basic elements of life. Those three must come together. Carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen. All right?
In order to have life.
In order to have, matter of fact, that's it. What now say it? The process. But this is what you must have on this planet for life.
Right. Any planet.
And, well, I don't know about I don't know. All I know is on this planet, you have to start with carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen. That's your basic Trinity. All right? Now, wait a minute. We got to go, y'all. But everyone always wants to talk about the greatest thing in the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the greatest thing in the universe? God.
There we go.
What do you know about it? Not a thing. You say it's invisible. Well, how about this? How do you learn how to see the invisible?
Visible.
You have to learn how to see the visible. So what would be the best thing to look at if you want to start learning how to see God?
So look within.
You could look within, but I want you to look at something that is visible. What's inside of you?
Right.
It's not visible.
Okay.
Where? What elements? Here's what you want to start doing. Start looking at the small things.
Okay.
Once upon a time, one of the smallest things that could be looked at was a blade of grass. All right? What are the three central elements for a blade of grass? I can't hear you.
Yeah, the three elements.
What is it?
Three elements.
The Trinity. Carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen. All right? Now, what happened was it started with a blade of grass and eventually someone invented a microscope.
Okay. Gotcha.
And eventually they started looking at things smaller and smaller and smaller
Down to the atom.
so that they could try to start looking at the invisible. You understand? And
Okay.
now they've come to see that atom that you're talking about might be what the universe is actually looks like. That's what they're suggesting. We don't know yet. But you are learning to see this by learning how to see the things that you cannot see. And there are some things about you that you cannot see, that if you ever learn to get to know that, you will now start to actually see what you are. All right? Anyway, y'all, come on. It's about time to get out of here. I guess we got everything. What? And you just have to spell those words and understand what you're looking at. All right? Okay. Here. He's going already?
Yeah, I think he had to go to work. Peace, y'all. See you next week.